Hi artists, it's Miss Coon, and today we're going to work on day 2 of our Andy Warhol inspired pop art cats. So last week we drew an Andy Warhol inspired cat, and you might have drawn one on the front that we drew together, and you may have drawn one on the back that you created yourself. And for today, you can choose whichever one you want to finish, the one that we drew together or the one you drew yourself, as long as it's drawn with pencil, outlined with black crayon and not marker, because if you outline it with a washable marker, when we paint, the marker is going to run everywhere and make a mess. So it needs to be black crayon. And then we colored the eyes, the nose, and inside of the ears. We're going to look for a second at some of his examples. You'll notice that there are lots of bright pops of color and not realistic cat colors. So if you want to paint your cat purple today, or green or blue, that's fine. It's up to you. If you're working at home and you're doing this virtual lesson online, it's okay if you don't have paint. You could color it with crayon, or you can use marker or something else that you've got. But my friends that are here at school, we're going to use watercolor sets, and your set is a little bit different than this one, but we're going to use a watercolor set. So you need watercolor, a paintbrush, and a cup of water. So let's get started. Okay, let's take one last look at Andy Warhol's cat paintings. Remember, we read the book Andy Warhol's Cats and learned about why he created this cat painting. His problem was he had too many cats. There were 25 cats named Sam and one cat named Hester, and his solution was to solve that problem with art. So he drew and painted pictures of the cats, turned those paintings into a book. The book made the cats famous, and then everyone wanted a Sam. It's a really smart way to find a home for your cats. So today we're going to use bright, bold colors. They don't have to be realistic, and we're going to paint our cats. Okay, so first we're going to talk a little bit about using watercolor paints. When you use watercolor, it's important that you drop just a little bit of water into each of your colors. It doesn't have to be a lot, but I'm just going to wake these colors up because no one has used them today. So I'm just dropping a little bit of water on top of the colors. And waking those colors up. They haven't been used lately. Okay, when I'm using my watercolor, I'm just going to lightly touch the paint. I don't want to press down so that my bristles bend. So just sort of imagine that you're just like a light touch. So when I get ready to paint, I'm going to choose a color, and again, I can use a realistic color or an imaginary color. My cat is going to be, I think, a bluish color. So I'm going to touch a little bit of blue. And I'm going to add blue to my cat. And if I want to wash the brush off and mix a little bit of a neighboring color in, I get a tertiary color. So I'm going to use two colors that are beside each other. I'm not going to just skip all over because I don't want it to turn brown. But I'm going to use two neighboring colors to add color to my cat. I'm going to try to leave the whites of his eyes white. I did get a little bit on it, so I'm just going to touch the color and then add color to my cat. I want my cat to maybe just be limited to two colors of paint that are neighbors, and I'm letting these colors mix while the paint is still wet. I'm not digging and like twirling my brush around inside of the paint because that's getting too much paint, so I just touch it and go. Rinse my brush between colors. If I change colors, I'm going to wash it. So when I switch from blue to green, I'm washing my brush off. My cat kind of looks like a planet, like planet Earth. Wash, change colors. Again, I'm not twirling in my color. I'm just sort of touching and going, touch and go. Wet, touch. Wet my brush, touch my color. Okay, and now I'm going to work on my tail. So I've washed my brush, touched my color. Wash my brush, change my color. I'm letting them blend together just a little. Wash, touch. It's important that you're not digging in your color. And then I'll wash my brush out. I'm going to do the same technique for the background. I'm going to pick two colors that are beside each other so that I get a tertiary color that's between them. I'm going to wash my brush, touch the color that I want to use, and I'm going to start adding a background color. I'm going to wash if I change colors, and I am going to try to limit myself in each section to maybe just 2 colors so that I don't accidentally get things mixed up and start looking kind of muddy or brown. So I'm going to speed this up so it goes a little faster. I would like for you to try it to fill as much of your white space as you can so that it does have a lot of color. I like having 2 colors in the background and 2 colors on the cat. I think it's safest to use 2 neighboring colors, 2 colors that are beside each other so that you get the color that's between them. Sometimes if you skip around, you get kind of a muddy color. I cannot wait to see what you create. Remember, you can share photos of your art on Instagram at Kuhn Art Room, or you can email them to me at amkuhn@auburnschools.org. I can't wait to see what you made, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye!